may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, guys, trust me, I do not want to make this video. I do not want to talk about this. There are a couple of sad topics that we are going to cover. But before we get into it, I just want to make the announcement. I understand that we've had a ton of people that are new listeners to the channel, a ton of people coming in and saying, hey, Mason, I really appreciate the videos. Thank you so much. And I'll say two things here. One, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So if y'all hear something that I say that sounds wrong to you, I need you to go down to the comment section. I need you to go, hey, Mason, you were wrong here. Just letting everybody else know, because I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. I understand that a lot of y'all watching this video, your opinion means just as much as mine, if not more. So I want to continue to encourage y'all to leave comments when you think I'm wrong. Leave comments when you think that you have a viewpoint that may be better because I'm forgetting something. And that's just going to make the entire audience, that's going to make everybody better, including myself, because we're not in this all individually. So let's work together. Let's all get better together. Leave your comments down below with what your opinions are. And lastly, what I want to say is, for everybody who has decided to go down to that comment section, go to the description of the video and sign up for Thrive Fantasy with the promo code FLOCK. I want to give you a massive thank you. Not only are you supporting the channel, but you're just taking advantage of getting free money. Now, guys, if you don't know how these quote-unquote DFF sites, you don't know how these fantasy sites are working right now, is with legal sports gambling coming in, they're pretty much all just throwing out free money saying, hey, please play here, please play here, please play here. So guys, please, I don't care if you play with them for 10 years or anything, just go get the free money if you want. They're doing a free $1,000 promo if you want to just go through and sign up with the code FLOCK. No, you don't get $1,000 worth of entries. You get a free shot at a $1,000 contest. So please go out there, take advantage of that. It helps the channel. Now let's get into this. Let's talk about what is going on. And before we get into COVID and all that impact, let's talk about Alberto Mondesi, who already goes down. I understand that's not a significant injury. It's a right oblique strain where he's probably going to miss a few weeks. But we know that when you hear a few weeks, your first thought is, okay, if they're saying 2 to 3 weeks, this is maybe a month. This is an injury it's going to take a little bit to get back from. And with Alberto Mondesi, we understand that he was a very high fantasy baseball draft pick this year. And it was for one reason and one reason only. It's not the lineup he's playing in. It's not his hitting power. It's not his batting average. It's for his stolen bases. So here, I think we're going to have the perfect opportunity. If you get Mondesi coming back, just say in about 2 or 3 weeks, and you don't have him on your team, right? So just say you're sitting here patiently waiting. You're going, okay, Mondesi, say he comes back in 2 to 3 weeks, right? He comes back and then he has a week or two stretch where because of the right oblique strain, he maybe isn't that aggressive on the base paths. Maybe he's not trying to take the jump. Maybe he's not trying to rack up those stolen bases. And he takes a week or two to get going. That fantasy baseball owner that has drafted him and that didn't have him for just say the first 2 or 3, maybe even a month of the season. And then whenever he does get him and he's not providing what he was drafted for in stolen bases, I promise you they are going to be so much lower on him than his real value is. So we need to just be setting a reminder in our phones saying, hey, trade for Alberto Mondesi if you end up seeing him have a slow return, if he's not racking up stolen bases right away, because we know stolen bases is also a stat that comes and goes. I mean, maybe you're going to see a player like Mondesi rack up 3 or 4 in a week, and then for 2 weeks, you don't see him have a single one. So please, 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 guys, set a reminder in your phone. Do whatever you need to. I promise you, if you're subscribed to the channel, I'll be screaming it when he comes back. But Mondesi, there's going to be a good buy low opportunity a while from now. Okay, so now let's talk about what I really don't want to, and that is opening day. We've already had a game postponed. The Mets and the Nationals postponed until I don't know when. It didn't read that, but all that matters is, my God, we are back to what happened last year. I thought that you look at the NFL, you look at the NBA finally figuring it out, that Major League Baseball wasn't going to have a problem. You look at just the cases in the country right now, and I assume this was all behind us. Now, I do not want to sit here and act like I am a doctor. I don't want to sit here and act like I know anything about COVID that y'all don't. So my opinion on it doesn't matter. My opinion on really anything doesn't matter outside the fact that it looks like we're probably going to be dealing with the same crap from 2020. So we have to look at it and go, okay, what does that mean for our strategy this season? First, I think what we have to hypothesize is that depth is going to be a lot more important specifically with your pitchers, I think what you're going to want to do is instead of prioritizing top-end talent, like getting a Jacob deGrom who already is seeing his first start postponed, maybe you want to prioritize getting a bunch of pitchers that can rack up innings pitched that maybe don't have that elite level upside of someone like a Trevor Bauer. But if you put them all together, you go, okay, I have a safe weekly output, even if we are seeing multiple games canceled from these starter pitchers that I'm never going to sink. We're always going to be afloat at the position, and where we can try to take advantage, where we can try to stack our studs is going to be with lineups where you can go and try to stack up hitters, because we know that it's a lot easier to find a hitter off the waiver wire than it's going to be to find one of those starting pitchers if COVID is crazy, because the next thing we're going to go into is the fact that you're going to have to be active on the waiver wire this year. And because you're going to have to be active, all your league mates are going to be active at the same time. So if you're used to possibly getting some innings pitched off the wire, I think that you have to sit here and you have to go, okay, it's probably going to be a lot harder. If you're going with that strategy, I don't necessarily want to lean into it 100%. So if you're going to be trying to win your fantasy baseball league this year, it's going to take a lot of work, just because we know that in a regular season, you can kind of coast as long as you're getting your lineups in, as long as you're being a little bit active in terms of what's happening with injury news. On the wire, you're going to be fine, because you can pick up the guys that are seeing new opportunity. You can pick up the player that maybe is going to be jumping up in efficiency. But now, this is going to be a day-to-day scenario. You're going to have to go, okay, so just say 3 of these players were ruled out with contract tracing, like we saw in the NBA this year with fantasy basketball, and especially DFS. If you're playing DFS, oh my God, this is going to be so much work. But the good news is, the people who put in the work, this is when they benefit. In a regular season, if everybody goes through and we are just playing normally, it's hard to find those edges. It's hard to go, okay, this is something everybody else is overlooking. This is how I'm going to outwork them. Where no, if we're playing in a year where you're getting players that are just randomly popping up saying, hey, they're going to miss the next 3 or 4 nights, then you can have opportunities. You can be active on the wire. You can be making ad drops that are going to make a difference in the long run. Okay, so now let's go through and talk about one last thing I just want to bring up. And that's not something I know for sure if we should be doing. It's more so anybody in the Premier, I want to know your question. I want to know your answer with this question. And a quick side note, guys, if y'all aren't subscribed to the channel and have your notification bells on, what are you doing? What I'm doing with all these videos going forward is we are dropping them as live premieres where I hang out in the live chat. We talk fantasy baseball. Y'all tell me why I'm stupid, and it's a very good time. But anyway, if you're in the Premier, please let me know what you think right now. What do you think about going out and maybe trying to target some players that we've already known have had COVID, some players that are on record saying they'll either have COVID already, maybe they already have their vaccine, one or the other, and avoid players where they're a little bit uncertain because we don't want to have a random 2-week stretch in the middle where they're not available. Now, I will say, obviously, you're not making drastic changes to your strategy like this, but maybe you can use this as a tiebreaker. If you're looking at 2 players and they're almost identical, and you know that one contracted COVID last year, you go, hey, maybe we go with them over the other. But please let me know what y'all think, because this is a scenario that I really have no idea what to do with. Please, please, please go to the comment section and let me know your opinions. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. And I'm going to be coming out with a video tomorrow. I hope everybody is enjoying our first week of baseball, and I will see y'all in the premiere tomorrow.